Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be profiling for you my Fire King deck. This is a deck that I've had the deck for a long time. I used to play it a long time ago. There's I think a deck profile from a couple years ago on the channel of this deck. I think it's like in 2003 and 2004 I profiled this deck. So it's been a pretty long time since I've done this deck profile, but we're back here today because Fire King Island came out in Shining Victories a couple of weeks ago to profile this deck for you guys. It's a really fun deck. It's actually a very solid deck. It's a lot more fast and consistent compared to what it used to be. Fire King Island really helped the deck out overall and just was something that the deck really needed. And I'm happy they actually gave the deck it because it really gave it a boost. But without further ado guys, we'll get into this deck profile. Personally, I would say, when I originally picked up the deck, and even to this day I still think about it and laugh at it, I always laughed because it had Avatar, and you know, at the same time we had the Fire Fist coming out, and I always kind of felt, you know, I don't know, I just always had Avatar: The Last Airbender references, like Fire Lord Ozai, and you know, the Fire Avatar, you know, Aang could turn into a flaming chicken. I don't know. But this card also has been known as Ho-Ho because it's a flaming chicken. It's a phoenix as well. But besides those references, let's get into the deck profile and the main point of this deck. So Avatar Garunix pretty much blows up the field constantly. With Fire King Island now being a card over here in the TCG finally, pretty much what this means is you can run 3 Garunixes now. For the longest time originally, I remember I used to run just 2 Garunix, and maybe, and something I'm still testing out, mind you, a Sacred Phoenix of Nefertiti, which pretty much destroys back row. It's pretty much a back row destroyer to Phoenix. It's an older card even, but it's a card I'm still testing out. But really, you can run 3 Garunix now because you can consistently, once you get to Fire King Island, you can consistently just pop Garunix in your hand, you know, blow it up, get it in the graveyard, get your, you know, the loop with Garunix coming back every turn, just blowing up the field. You can continuously do that now because Fire King Island is a card, so it's perfectly fine running 3 Garunix now. Plus you have things like Twin Twister you can pitch it with and other cards out there nowadays. So there's a lot more, I guess you say, good ways to activate Garunix's effect and get them in the graveyard nowadays. So 3 Garunix. Next we have 3 Yaksha. One of the very good cards in the deck. It can help pop a card in your hand. Really good card in general. If you guys don't remember what Yaksha does, I'll read his effect for you. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by card effect except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy 1 card in your hand or that you control. You can use this effect to Fire King Avatar Yaksha once per turn. So pretty much, you can special summon him once Garunix dies. Doesn't leave your field open. And then if they destroy Yaksha, then you can blow up another Garunix in your hand, and then you can keep looping a Garunix with a Garunix until maybe their Castel will 101 it. But yeah, really good card. Then you run 3 Fire King Barong. If you guys don't remember what Barong does, he's pretty much the searcher for the deck. When he's blown up, you can search out a Fire King card. If I remember, Fire King card or Fire King monster. I'll read the effect for you guys though. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by card effect, you can add 1 Fire King card from your deck to your hand. So yeah, you get to add 1 Fire King card. You do have to remember, you add that later on. You don't add it right away, so that's one of the downsides. But still, a staple as a 3 of, very good card in the deck. And those are all the Fire King cards we run. Those are pretty much your 3 main ones. Then we run kind of a Beast Warrior. I guess you could say Beast Warrior. I guess you could say Fire Fist Engine. Next I run 2 Wolfbark. I just like the rank 4 aspect in the deck. It gives the deck a little bit of diversity. Granted, I know Garunix coming back all the time is not the best thing because it blows up your Exceeds and whatnot. But it just comes in handy for getting around problematic cards. You have things like 101, you have things like Bujin Kajisuchi, which I'll show you very quickly, which can protect himself from being blown up by Garunix. So there's multiple different ways you can use it, going to exceed monsters that are not going to get blown up right away. And it also helps you get around problematic cards out there in today's game. So it's really nice to have, and I really like the 2 Wolfbark in the deck. I may cut one down to add a Gorilla, or I may cut the next card, which I'm about to show you, and add Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Gorilla, and that is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Bear. I know popping cards nowadays is really not good, and bear targets and everything. It's not the best thing nowadays, but I do like the Bear's ability to pop cards on the field. And it's a card that your opponent's going to have to answer with some type of response. So what I found personally is sometimes Bear can bait out back row, and then Garunix can just go freely blowing things up. So that's what I found. I may drop the Bear for a Gorilla. I may just drop Bear altogether and not put Gorilla in the deck. It's something I'm still playtesting and trying out for the last week or so. But more play testing needs to be done. But I may take Gorilla and put him in the deck and take out the Bear. But still testing. I do like the 2 Wolfbark though, because it's searchable and it's rank 4 spam. Next, I run 3 Onslaught, the Fire King. Great card. Helps you special summon your Grunix from your deck. Get your Grunix play going. You can special summon your Barong out. You can special summon your Yaksha out. Mainly Barong and Grunix are the cards you're going to get out, but it's a very good card. And by the way, this card is good in Gladiator Beast and a whole bunch of other decks. So this card is not just made for Garunix. I've seen this card played in many decks in my Yu-Gi-Oh days, I guess you could say. So 3 Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Great card. Next, I run 3 Circle of the Fire Kings. You can search this card out along with Onslaught through Barong. You could also search out, I believe, Fire King Island with Barong as well, because it has Fire King in its name. You can actually, I just looked at it. But this card is pretty much like Forbidden Lance for the deck. Think of it that way. You destroy a Fire King monster on your field, and you reborn one in your graveyard. So I brought, if somebody's targeting one Garunix, I bring back the other Garunix. It's something you can do. It's a quick play spell, so you can bluff with it. It's really nice to have. I really like it. A lot of people I know, originally when this card first came out and the Fire King deck was much slower, used to just run 1 of this card. I used to run 2. I'm currently testing 3. Personally, from playtesting, I have found that 3 is perfectly fine. It's not really a dead draw. It's good early and mid-game to some extent. It's not. It just gives you protection. I feel more confident when in my plays because I'm like, okay, if they try to do this thing with my Garunix, I can stop them with Fire King, Circle of the Fire Kings, and then I can keep looping Garunix with the Garunix and keep punching their face in with Garunix's attacks and other monster attacks. So I do like the 3 Fire King Circle at the moment. May cut it down to 2, but still play testing, guys. Next, I run 3 Tinky, staple in the deck. You run a whole bunch of Beast Warriors. You got Bear, or if you want to run Gorilla, you have Gorilla with that. Fire Fist Gorilla. Then you also have your Wolfbarks, you have your Barongs, and you have your Yakshas searches. So this card helps search a whole bunch of things. It gives attack bonuses to the Barong and all those other cards. So definitely 3 Tinky. I definitely like it in the deck. I have thought about running Tensu, but I like just Tinky in the deck at the moment. I used to run Tensu originally, but I still need to test it out in the new builds. Next, I run 3 Fire King Island. Great card. At the moment that I'm making this video, it's being played in Cosmos, and people love playing Fire King Island in Cosmos for Dark Planets and whatnot. But me, I like playing it in the deck it was actually intended for. That being Fire King. So great card. Blows things up in your hand. Just an amazingly well card. It helps you go +1 just about every single turn. And once you get this card out and you get Garunix in the graveyard and you keep reoccurring your Garunix over and over again, you're just going to gain a whole bunch of pluses and just constantly plus. So I like this, the 3 Fire Island. It is searchable through Barong. And just in case, I do like running 1 Terraforming. I know some people like running 2 Terraforming, but me, I like the ratio of just running the 3 of these, the 1 Terraforming just in case, as well as you have Barong to search it out if need be. Or you can use Barong to search out Circle or Onslaught depending upon the scenario. So you get where the versatility is. And the deck's so consistent now, I just like this ratio. So that's just me overall, I guess you could say. Next, I run 2 Supply Squad. A lot of people don't like Supply Squad in the deck anymore, I find, but personally, usually you don't need to run 3 Supply Squad in this deck. Personally, I just like running 2. You could even run 1 of it. In this deck, compared to what people originally thought Supply Squad would be, which would be, you know, this broken awesome card, it's actually a pretty good card in Fire Kings because you're blowing things up constantly and you're constantly getting to draw, as well as you're constantly getting to search with Fire King Island. You're searching, you're drawing, you're doing all these things, you're thinning your deck out. The deck's a lot more faster than what it used to be. I'm telling you guys, with Fire King Island, the deck's so much more faster. But 2 Supply Squad, I do like in the deck. Just gives me a little bit of draw power. You definitely, it's going to get your bang for the buck in about a turn or 2, and believe me, it definitely works out. So I do like the 2 Supply Squad in the deck. You don't need 3 of it though. Next, I run 2 Twin Twister. It's another way of pitching Garunix to the graveyard. If you draw it in hand and you don't want to destroy it in hand, you don't have a way to destroy it. Mainly, it's just to help clear back row, get rid of that random bottomless that can hurt you with, you know, Garunix or random cards your opponent may have. Get rid of them. Be gone. It's one of the reasons why I've thought about running Gorilla, because this deck doesn't like back row. You just want to clear it and just blow things up. That's what you want to do. You want to go, that's the way this deck works. It likes blowing up in your face. Literally. 1 Instant Fusion, 1 Rekindling, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Regeki. Upstart Goblin, dig a little bit deeper into your deck. Instant Fusion, bring out Noden, go for rank 4s in the deck. I like making this deck a little bit more rank 4 than probably most people would like, but I do enjoy it. Rekindling, you have 6 targets for Rekindling. You have your 3 Barongs and your 3 Yaksha. Rekindling is just amazing in the deck. I wish they had more targets for it, but I ran more targets for it. I mean, I used to run things back in the day like Flame Veil Fire Dog, other, I guess you could say, Fire King monsters, just things of that nature to make Rekindling more alive, because it was that powerful of a card in this deck originally. But it seems to have lost a little bit of power, but it's still a very good card and powerful card in this deck, and I definitely would run it in the deck. Upstart, draw into your cards. Regeki, blow up the monsters that are non-targeting, clear the board, attack. Just more blowing things up, I guess you could say. Sorry guys, I got a cold still when I'm doing this deck profile. Trap lineup. 2 Quaking Mirror Force. I really like this card. This card's really underrated. If your opponent tries to attack you somehow, you can just flip those monsters face down. They can't be flipped back up. Then you can blow them up next turn. That's the way it works. Put them face down, then blow them up. And that's the way I like it. So 2 Quaking Mirror Force, I really like it in the deck. Other one of traps I run, 1 Torrential Tribune and 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. Torrential is very good in this deck. I was considering running Dark Hole, but I chose Torrential over Dark Hole because Dark Hole is reactive more. Bottomless Trap Hole is just a good solid card. And Torrential just is really good because if you blow your own things up, who cares? You get pluses off of it, right? You get pluses for blowing your things up with Torrential. Most of the time, that is. Next, I run 2 Solemn Strike and 1 Warning. So I run the Solemn Brigade here, your 2 Strike and your 1 Warning. Pretty staple, really. If you have a 3rd Strike, maybe you want to run it. But I definitely like the 2 Strike and the 1 Warning. It's perfectly fine and very good in your deck. So, pretty much, not much to say about that, just good trap cards there. For your extra deck, we run 2 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. This card right here you see on the playmat, Tiger King. You can run 1 of this, but I do like running 2 of it because you easily go into rank 4s, search out your tanky. It's one of the reasons why I've thought of running a Tensu or a Goku, I think it is, the one that... There's just a whole bunch of different things that I may still try out because the deck is so much more faster than what it was. So, playtesting still needs to be done though. 1 Diamond Direwolf. You could bump this up to 2, but personally I always use 1 of them. I never use 2 of them usually. I just use the 1 at the right time. 1 Bujin Kazutsuchi. Great card, definitely a staple in this deck because it doesn't blow itself up with Garunix. It has ways of protecting itself. Those are pretty much your Beast Warrior and your Fire King Pacific type of cards, I guess you could say. For generic cards, I run Castel, Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, 101. You do go into 101 because he can protect himself. Number 103, Ragnar Zero. Just some good cards here. Number 106, Giant Hand. Gaga Cowboy for game. Number 82, Heartland Drago is very good in this deck because you have tankies, you have Fire King Island, you can just attack over things for game. So that's why I like it. It can win you games single-handedly, Heartland Drago. For just some other cards I run the Utopias. We run Utopia, Utopia Ray, and Utopia the Lightning. This way you can use Utopia the Lightning's effect twice because you have Utopia and Utopia Ray. It just comes in handy and can win you games as well, so I like the card. And then for your instant fusion target, I run one Elder Entity God Norden. So that is the deck profile, guys. I think I actually did that deck profile. Yeah, I did it under 16 minutes. Go figure. Well, the deck's pretty straightforward, I guess you could say. It's very solid, too. It's a lot faster than what you probably remember playing this deck if you played it before in the past, because Fire King Island just made the deck so much more faster. I still may dabble with playing some Fire. I've seen people say, try dabbling with, Ignoble Knights and things of that nature. I may go back to try dabbling with some of the cards and formations of the Fire Kings. Not Fire Kings, Fire Fist monsters. I'm still playtesting the deck, but this is what I've been playing with recently, and it's been doing very, very, very well. And it's been very impressive to see the deck actually do a lot better than what I remember it doing before, because originally it was very slow. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I hope you guys all enjoy this deck profile. Take care, everybody.